Hello, Thorny Roses, and welcome. I'm going to run through another mobility sequence. Let's start by slowly rotating the shoulders. This is a check-in to see how it feels. Just wondering if your shoulders are feeling particularly crunchy or whether they're tense, anything like that. And keeping your arms down means you don't have the weight of those on your shoulders as well, unlike these exercises, which can be quite a lot of weight to start with on the shoulders. Keeping your hands close to your body, less of a lever effect. And you're still taking your shoulders through a full range of motion. These neck mobility exercises that we're moving into, you're just slowly, it's a big part of the key, slowly moving your head from one side to the other. For me, this is always a really crunchy, noisy time. It doesn't always feel very nice. So doing it slowly, keeping your jaw relaxed. You can deliberately move your jaw. Yawning is good. Just trying to release the tension. Thinking about shoulders being back and down. And then dropping your chin to your chest. And then looking up, but you're trying to keep length in the back of your neck. So rather than doing that, it kind of scrunches into here. You're trying to keep your occiput, the knobbly bit here, away from your shoulders, from your back like that. So if you put your hand here, just make sure that you don't scrunch too much. And it's worth noting that the muscles up here, the shoulders that hold them up in a shrug, won't necessarily let go very easily. It's the muscles underneath that pull them down. So you might want to think about the muscles around your ribs deliberately pulling your shoulders down. And then with reasonably wide stance, because this is a bit of a balance thing, we're going to do a forward bend. So just tucking your chin in and slowly lowering down to the floor, keeping a slight bend in the knees and just going down as far as you comfortably can. Keeping the bend in your knees so they don't lock out. And then thinking about lifting yourself up from your pelvis, you're going to slowly uncurl so that you're back up to the top. I'll show you from the side. So tucking the chin, reasonably wide stance, just curling down, slight bend in the knee, slowly. Doesn't matter where you get your hands. If it really doesn't matter where you get your hands, you get them on the floor, that's fine. If you can't, that's fine. You might feel a slight stretch in the hamstrings, and then using your pelvis rather than your shoulders or pushing up with your legs, using your pelvis to lever yourself back up. And then when you get to the top, if you've done this with your shoulders, you're resetting the shoulders, taking your time. The thing you can do just to slowly warm up is to swing the arms. So again, you're thinking about staying upright, your shoulders being back and down. We need to do some corrections to our forward facing posture, our down looking posture. So you really want to make sure that your shoulders are back a little bit, not forwards, back. And you want to have your arms feel quite loose, so kind of floppy. It's really good for your spine, this exercise. You feel that little twisting in your ribs. And you might find this quite pleasant if you've been doing bicycle crunches recently, or any of those lateral oblique kind of movements, cross body movements. Okay, does it feel nice to open and close, open and close. Do it either way. I would just advise against those quite old-fashioned warm-ups where you do a lot of throwing your arms around at great speed, like windmilling like you're going to take off, that sort of thing. For me, you already have to be warmed up before those are great exercises to do, or even acceptable exercises to do. Backwards and forwards. And so you can really see, I think this is another one of those corrective postural exercises. And I'm just moving back to where it's comfortable, doing a little pulse, coming forward. Moving back to where it's comfortable, little pulse, moving forward. So, make your way down onto the floor. I just had to go and change my top because the other one was so baggy, really couldn't see that I was moving inside it. So, we're going to find ourselves in tabletop quadruped position. Keep your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. And we're just going to start with some cat-cow. So, just really pushing up through into your shoulders, letting your scapula, your shoulder blades move across your spine, feeling that stretch, and then the other way. So head up and back, seat bones pointing up behind you, really hollowing your back. Somebody very heavy has sat on it. Oof. And then the other way. So really mobilizing through the spine. Just checking your symmetry, checking your balance. And the other way. Just do a few of these. And then you can also do a similar thing where instead of just going up and down in this plane, as in cat-cow, you think about, you imagine that your belly button is describing a circle. So you move it around like so. Really good for your spinal mobility. Only go as far as you comfortably can. Don't lean over too far into your shoulders. Don't go too far out to each side, but you're just getting that rotation as well as the up down. Go the other way. Should feel nice on the sacroiliac as well if you're a little bit tight in there. Yeah. So this is a mobility routine, and this is really good mobility. Like I say, the limiting factor might be how much your wrists like this. If at any point they really don't, you just take the weight off them by going back into a kind of sphinx position. Put your hands behind your back. If you like, into a bit more of a child's pose. But it just takes the weight off the hands for a moment. If you do have your arms out in front of you more, then as you've come back and stretched out here, you can take your left hand out to the left about 45 degrees, put your right hand on top of it, and get a really nice stretch through the side of the body, obviously, in this case, my right hand side. I'll show you from the front as well. So you're back into child's pose. You can have your knees quite wide, plenty of room for the belly, and then take your right hand out to 45 degrees, left hand on top of it, and you should get that nice stretch through the side. And while you're here, of course, you're very welcome to lie on your back. Always good to get the weight off your back in this way. Knees up, just let gravity do its thing, and do a few of the knee drops that we've done before. Really good for the hip flexors. So really anything from Mobility 1 that you want to add onto this, of course you can. Well done, Thorny Roses. Thank you for being here. Keep on keeping on. It's the only way. Bye.